Hello and welcome back to another review Magic, and today we are back with another interview with the man himself, CoachX. Welcome back to the channel for like the third time, but this time we're talking about the hottest thing in Pulsechain, ladies and gentlemen, and it is pTGC, the one and only, the Grays currency. Hey man, could this be the best DeFi Pulsechain project on Pulsechain? We're only gonna find out with time, but one of the first things that I wanted to, speak with you, Coach X, because I know that you have been on Shiltank. Can you tell me, what are the latest updates with pTGC? It's over 4.4 million market cap right now. So, tell me what's the latest. How did the Shiltank go as well?
Well, what's going on right now is just great opportunity for the community. Communities coming together, and basically just the machine and the whole DeFi protocol is just operating flawlessly. And when I speak highly about like pTGC, like I don't even think it's going to be the best thing on Pulse. I think it's going to be the probably one of the best things out there in the whole crypto market. The reasons for that is we basically launched at the very, very bottom of Pulse Chain itself. So if you really think about that and you showcase that number and Pulse Chain goes up 100 or 100 fold, pTGC has a liquidity at the last time I looked was $324,000 in that V1 pair with 20 other plus pools connected to it with the prominent other projects on Pulse itself, like Hex, Pulsechain, and other big players in the game. So if you really think about that, it's going to be something crazy to think about. And in regards to Shiltank, we got the opportunity to be on there as a sponsored somebody from the community. It wasn't even the DAO funds that actually paid for that sponsorship. It came from a community member.
Nice.
They wish not to be disclosed, but it was very fortunate. And we got a couple of other things coming along. I think we're going to be on the YouTube tomorrow with Ian and Beirut as well. Also, we just had a couple streams with the Burst. We're going to be doing Crypto Kindness coming up. We have Corey Costa coming into play. When it comes to some of the different things that came out the last time we talked, we have the Grays game, which is a 50-50 raffle. And then yesterday, we came out with Grays merch. So you can buy hoodies, coffee cups, all the 9 yards, t-shirts. We're pretty stoked about that. I got my order coming in a couple
I saw
days,
them.
which is pretty cool. And last but not least, we actually got a data page that we just went up live maybe about 2 or 3 days ago. And actually, it's just, if you really think about it and look at it, it gives you actually the exact numbers of what is burnt, and actually gives you the what is going to be burnt
Hmm.
in the next 6 months. So
I saw
currently,
that.
right now, the prediction of what it's going to be burnt was like 22 to 23% or
Yeah.
something like that. So and that total of the current price right now is about $1 million. But if we do the same kind of all-time highs and then go to the firmament, that number could surpass maybe from 22 to 25, depending on the volume of all the liquidity pools. So it's going to be kind of cool thing to look at going forward.
Absolutely, yeah. Actually, speaking of that, because I was looking at that stats in the website, by the way, and most of the tokens are in staked and in locked staking. So, can you tell me a little bit about the role of staking in pTGC and how that some of the transaction taxes go to the stakers as reflections?
Yeah. So, so are you talking about the stake and the lock, or are you just talking about just staking?
Both actually, doing locked staking and normal staking.
So basically, with the lock, or let's just talk about liquid staking. So you can stake your tokens, and basically, there's no time frame. You can pull out in the next 5 minutes. There is that 1% fee if you want to pull it out. That directly goes back to the people that are actually staking, holding the pTGC, and basically, uh, I kind of equivalent it as like a miner in a sense. And whatever you have staked, it's kind of like real estate and when you really think about it, and the valuation, depending upon what kind of passive income flow that you want to bring to yourself, or if you want to have more than one um, so-called miner bringing more value to um, your bag, and you just keep on compounding it into your stake, is or just compounding half, selling half into pulse, or selling half into more hex or pulsex or whatever you want to do um, with your the rewards that you get, because like we basically implemented it looking at different kind of protocols. So for example, the founder kind of like made it so like he took different aspects of different qualities of different protocols, like hex for example. You're not able to actually claim that hex until the end of that stake. So the difference is you can have that stake and you can claim your rewards, and you just keep that stake and keep that real estate in that pool, or in receiving more rewards. In regards to locking, so locking is just a kind of like a community type of thing. You do get a little bit more, but it depends on how long you actually put in. So if you the minimum is 90 days, and you can actually go all the way up to 10 years if you really want to. So like the 5555 or the 5555 club type of thing with
Yeah.
hex, we can probably have the same kind of thing. But the thing about locking is whenever somebody or pulls their lock, so kind of like an emergency or unstake, there's a 30% penalty of your bag that gets sent to the people that actually have the lock tokens. So, and also you can just claim that and you don't have to remove your lock. So, and then you can just compound what you just earned from the lock stakes back to your regular stake and just keep it liquid if you wanted to. So there's a lot of different moving parts when it comes to that. But getting rewarded, there's that five, or there's a 5 buy tax and a 5 sell tax, and 1% goes to the holders and 1% goes to the stakeholders. So depending upon how big your holding is, what you're going to get in that holding reflection. And depending on what you have in that stake is going to be dependent upon how much stake, and it's going to depend on the volume. So if we have like, for example, the last like couple of days, we had that big pump. There was $120,000 dollars of volume in 24-hour period just in the Pulse pair, that V1 pair. In the teddy bear pool, we had 30K. In the hex pair, we had 15K. In the Pulse X pair, we had, so like that. This is what it really comes down to is, and in those pairs and in those trading pools, it's not really human interaction happening. It's bots, but at the same time, those bots are paying those 5% tax that just is actually rewarding you too at
Yeah.
the same time. So it really, did I explain that well?
Yeah, no, it
Maybe
makes sense.
I always I always go on those rants. You just have to, sometimes you just have to cut me off. So
No, no, it absolutely makes sense, honestly. Which actually brought me on to the next point. Some people say there's a correlation between the pump in ATROPA and in Teddy Bear when pTGC also pumps. What do you think? Like, is there a relationship between ATROPA and pTGC because of the liquidity bonding pairs? Like, what do you think of ATROPA? Kind of in this, is it the same race that you guys are running with?
yeah, so let me can you still see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Perfect, perfect. So like for example, like our teddy bear pool. is $115,000 in liquidity right there.
Yeah.
And with ATROPA, there's 27K. And in PDAI, there's 20K. So if you actually look at it, there is 12.9 million PDAI in there. So like, if you really think about it, like we've had these kind of discussions about like PDAI, we're gonna like it's gonna
Yeah.
go to $1. Like that's I still believe in Richard Hart and still think he has a game plan. But like if you really think about it, if PDAI really pegs to $1 and pTGC has $13 million on the PDAI side of things, how much money is that in that liquidity pool at $1? It's 12 million, so 13 million right there. So it'd be 26 million just in that liquidity pool itself. And it's just, yeah. I
Yeah.
can't like that's a lot of alpha right there. So it's just like people can take what they want with that. And
Yeah.
then if you really think about it, like if Teddy Bear goes to $1 billion market cap, PTGC is going to be doing the same exact thing. Or if PTGC does it before Teddy Bear, that liquidity pool is just going to be raising up and just being like, we're just talking to hey, 414,
Yeah.
come on, hop on the alien's back. Let's go on the spaceship.
Yeah. 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 Exactly. Honestly,
But
the way I see it, Atropa, Teddy Bear, PTGC are all leverage plays on Pulse itself. You know what I mean? It's just a win-win overall, to be honest with you. Which as well kind of brings me to the next point. Speaking of the PTGC ecosystem, can you tell me about the other tokens that you guys have in the ecosystem and what their role is?
how much do you know so much, or what do you know about them so far? Can
All
you
I know
explain
is
what you know?
honestly, all I know is about the 808 energy, and that's actually it. Honestly, so I have a lot of learning to do as well from from this.
So basically, like what the amplifiers was sent to all the stakeholders at the time when it was actually launched. Uh, a lot of the individuals just sold their bags, and unfortunately, 95% of those funds actually went out of the ecosystem itself. And uh, the amplifiers were built for a reason, and basically what each one does has a specific role. So basically, what burn does, it burns 3% of the total supply of it. So basically, if you really look at it, the burn amount is about 10 to 12%. Also, 1% of it is actually because like there's a 5% tax. 1% is building more or uh, to the pool of pTGC and burn token. So it's just building that floor and rising it both together. And also, if you're just holding the token, you actually get pulse rewards from it, from every single buy and sell of 1%. So depending upon how much you own, that's how much you actually are going to be receiving, which is passive income right there.
Yeah.
Also, liquid. Basically, what liquid is another token. It's 5% in, 5% out. 1% actually, or 1.5% goes to liquid and pulse to grow that pool and strengthening that pair stronger and stronger. So if you really think about it, we have two different horses trying to eat more and more pulse up. 1.5% of it actually goes to, actually it's 2%. So 2% to that pool, 2% to the liquid and pTGC pool. And then if you're just holding the liquid token, you receive pulse rewards as well.
Yeah.
Uh, so it's just like if you're just holding it, it's another way to just earn passive income. And of course, it's going to depend on volume. And honestly, the community is going to have to get behind it. And the speculators are going to have to come into the space and just like take it by the horns, because essentially that's going to be where um, community is going to have to come together and make that happen. Because myself and the team, really are just focusing on like pTGC and buying pTGC and but like these amplifiers were not built for no reason. And like for an example with the 808 token, uh, very a lot of people just don't really have like the DeFi mind and actually looking into what's actually happening on the blockchain. And then people just don't understand or haven't been watching. Like the 808 address has been buying and burning more 808 token. So, and it's kind of like it was kind of funny. He actually tweeted today because like, he actually made two buy and burns. He tweeted saying like it has the same kind of capabilities as Up and UpX, but the difference is it doesn't have to rely on another protocol to buy and burn its own token because on the 808 has a five in, five out. 1.5% actually or goes to the 808 address, which is buying and burning more 808 or it's buying and burning more PTGC. And then 1.5% goes to the OA, which is guess what the OA is doing? Buying and burning pTGC. So the more volume, the more it just if you actually look at it, it's a no-brainer. And
Mm-hmm.
then
Yeah.
with the other sort of 1% is actually adding to that 808 and pTGC. So just growing that pool thicker and thicker and thicker. So if you're really thinking about it, if pTGC goes up 808 burn liquid, it's going to go be going up with it as well. And then 808 actually 1% of it actually buys and burns more pTGC itself on every single buy and sell. So it's just like the whole ecosystem surrounding it. It's different from the ATROPA ecosystem where the 414 is just making sometimes shit tokens or just um, diverting the individual and the look somewhere else. But at the same or at the end of the day, why are we different? Is everything is protocol. All the liquidity is protocol on, and I'll just give you an example of Hart's law and how it just impacts the whole narrative of what PTGC's got going in the last couple of days. Um, Let me think about where it was. So last couple of days, 808 was at I want to say $78,000 market cap. Guess
Mm-hmm.
where it's up now? It hit $136,000. And guess how much volume there was? There was $2,000 in volume, and it went up 100%.
Wow.
So the same thing with like Burn. Burn was at I think uh 40 $47,000 market cap, and now it's sitting at 90,000 with only $500 of volume. So it's
Wow.
just like, hello. So like that is right there. Like it could be a mic drop moment of Hart's law. It's real. People need to wake up, pulsicans, hexicans, and understand what Richard Hart actually wants every single individual in the pulse chain ecosystem to understand. We're going to be the most liquid chain ever. And guess what? PTGC is going to be the most liquid DAO ever created and one of the most liquid protocols ever created. And it's going to get to a point where when people are earning
Mm-hmm.
on the stake, the valuation of one PTGC is going to be $1. Is it going to be 50 cents? Is it going to be a penny? Is it going to be $5? Is it going to be $10 at one point in time? So it's just like the numbers could be endless, but at this and just like with the floor levels being at it is right now, what happens when um, Pulse does a 10 or 100x? Guess what a liquid's going to do? It's buying and burn or it's making that pulse pool bigger and bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, it's just like I'll give you an example, real quick example of like the power of like building that up. So pTGC, the first run up of its all time high at $2.6 million market cap, we had um, uh, about in that V1 pair roughly $200,000 at $6.6 million market cap. Good, but now we're sitting at probably a 4.5 to a 4.8. I haven't looked at the chart in the last like hour or so,
Probably went up.
but we have like we have 350K in liquidity even before a $6 million market cap. So that is growing significantly,
Yeah.
and you can like see it on the blockchain, which is just I don't know how much more do I need to scream to the whole world of DeFi and the world of crypto. Like,
Yeah.
what are you guys missing out? Grab your bag and just compound and enjoy the bull run.
Yeah. Even I don't have enough. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, okay? Honestly, I think I'm gonna also jump on those 4 amplifiers. Not financial advice, but speaking of, you talking about the burning is happening, liquidity is getting thicker. Can you tell me, with this 6 month, estimation, 22+% being burnt, can you tell me what effect would that have? I mean, you did mention that obviously indirectly that it will make things, more scarce. More scarce is equal to more demand. Price goes up, and I guess I'm diverting now from the question. I was gonna say, the whole thing, what makes it possible on Pulsechain is because it's taking advantage of those bots, from the volume, etc. Can you talk about those bots and how you're taking advantage of them, basically?
So basically, I'm going to use an analogy that I like using, and it's kind of like a ship. So pTGC is on a ship. We're out
Mm.
in the ocean. Okay. So, and guess what we have? So instead of just having one little connection with Pulse, okay, so there's only one in, one out.
Mm.
We have this connection. We have this raft, this raft, this raft, this raft, this raft. So 20 plus different rafts, keeping us steady, basically. So if there isn't an action right here, there's going to be a reaction over here. And then if there's another, or with that reaction happening right here, there might be another reaction happening over here.
Yeah.
So basically, if there is a $5,000 sell, for example, or a $10,000 sell, there's going to be a pretty big reaction
Yeah.
coming from somewhere. So like the AMA bots are basically just trying to arb
Yeah.
the to the right correct price. So that's basically what's happening, and you can see it on any trades with like Hex
Yeah.
or Pulsex or in the whole ecosystem, because it's just trying to find the best pair. And bots really don't care if they get hit with a 5% tax in and out. So it's just like those are the things basically paying us at the end of the day,
Yeah.
plus humans, of course.
Yeah. 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 That's the beautiful part, honestly, especially when you compared it to like Up and UpX. Like, this is huge leverage play on Pulse itself. Like, you can, okay, Pulse can do, I don't know, 10 to 50 to 100. When you can hold pTGC, it's going to be more exposure to multiple X's. Not financial advice, but this leads me on to the final question here. Okay, and I've seen this happen with Ian and B-Roads. They talked about pTGC as a meme token. What do you think pTGC is? Is it a meme token, or is it like a token on a mission?
Well, they kind of like they kind of call it. They didn't really call it a meme, but we picked the best mascot because it's the most memeable, and aliens are going to be taking over the world in 2024. So it's
It
just
happened
like,
in Miami. Whoa.
I know it happened in Miami. There's things coming out in Mexico. But like when it comes to like PTGC is not a meme. It's a different animal, but at the end of the day, the mascot that we have as an alien, it couldn't be done better with everything going on in 2024 with the mall incident, with the alien, 10-foot alien with 1,000 police cars happening, chasing over there. But uh, at the end of the day, the protocol shows the data, has the data, and you can't. It's like almost unfuddable at the at some kind of magnitude, and that's one of the things that I've seen is there has been very little FUD about pTGC because you can't take any away from it. Every that V1 pool burnt, over 95% of it burnt. Okay. All the other pairs, majority of them are burnt. Majority, or I think over maybe 50% of the teddy bear pool is burned. And the rest is somebody in the community was like, I believe in this and I believe in Teddy, and I'm willing to put and strengthen the bond between both of them,
Yeah.
which is great. You know, like Hexpool burnt, ATROPA burnt, PDAI burnt, like the list goes on and on. So it's just like at the end of, or like when it comes down to saying, is it a meme? No, it's not a meme. You know, like, do I even consider like HOA a meme? No, because of the liquidity pools that are surrounding it are surrounding them as well.
Yeah.
So it's just like when it comes down to it, people might say it's a meme. Like, oh, you're talking about aliens, the Gray's currency is just like, well, if you really think about it, a currency is just the monetization of like what is valuable. And if we're bringing more or there's a tax to it, and it's just bringing more and more value to the protocol itself and to the holders and to the stakers and to the DAO itself, to the burn address, to adding more to the V1 pair, it's just like, that's not a meme. That's a monster.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%. I think, you know what I mean? I think a token, if it's a memeable, it does play a factor into how the hype builds up. But definitely, I think at the end of the day, it's not a meme in the back end. It's literally taking advantage of something that's amazing happening in Pulsechain. Final question, CoachX. What do you think of Pulsechain, Richard Hart, the state, and 2024 bull run?
We're going to go to the firmament. And it's going to give anybody who's been around, it's going to give them life-changing wealth. They'll get freedom, period. Life-changing.
I love it.
And it's just like, at the end of the day, it's just like, figure out a plan, write that plan down, stick to that plan, and understand the consequences of who you listen to. So if you listen to the hexagons, you're just saying buy hex, guess what? That's not going to create mass adoption. The mass adoptions are going to come from, yes, green candles, of course, but it's going to be coming from the builders. It's going to be coming from the community growing. Because there's only like about 10,000, about 10 to 15,000 users on Pulsechain right now. If we 10x that, just like how Cardano did the same kind of thing, it's going to be great.
Beautiful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Go follow their Twitter at PulseTGC. TGC, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And obviously your Twitter handle, which obviously I'll leave all the links in the description. Thank you very much, CoachX, for being here. Thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure for the third time for being on my channel. More to come. Hopefully next time will be over 10 million, 20, 50 million. You know what I mean? We'll do some update interviews for everyone.
You never know. Maybe 100 million, maybe 1 billion. You never know.
Honestly, if it comes sooner.
Maybe zero. Actually, it can never go to zero. I'll tell you that.
When we take away a zero and the price goes up. Exactly. But no, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to keep it there. All links in the description. Shout out to CoachX and super excited for 2024. And I'll see you later, everyone. Take care.